He was just on fire that night. He was on the verge of making history.
See if he can add to it. Yes, he does. He'll have to play in the third. He pulls up for a three.
It was like, are you freaking kidding me? Well, yeah, we were there. It actually happened.
The fans understood what was going on. The score didn't even matter anymore.
You're talking about possibly the greatest game anybody's ever played.
It's the teams you love, the rivals you hate, and the stories you'll never forget. Told from a different perspective, through the camera lens. Highlighting the artistry of the still photograph, FSN lets the witnesses to history tell the tales and bring the drama in focus.
He just scored 81 points, the second most points in the history of the NBA.
There was a nice boyish exuberance about Kobe after that game. I mean, because he was blown away by the whole thing, too.
Everybody was going nuts. He throws the finger up like, this is for you. The show is for you. That was the first point that, you know, he really acknowledged the fans and the crowd and was accepting that he just went for 81.
It was a moment for the Lakers, and it was a moment for Kobe, and it was one we'll never forget.
Kobe Bryant was born into the world of basketball. His father, Joe Jelly Bean Bryant, played 8 years in the NBA. When Kobe was 6, his father signed to play in the Italian League. For the next 7 years, the Bryants lived in Italy. It was there that Kobe first played the game. When Kobe was 13, the family moved to Philadelphia. Kobe's dedication to basketball intensified.
The ball was his best friend. Weekend nights when he was younger, he didn't go to parties or hang out. He played ball.
I come into the facility early in the morning, 5:45 or so, and I'd hear the thumping on the basketball. I went upstairs, and there was Kobe already half soaking wet, just doing drills.
The hard work paid off. Kobe led Lower Merion High School to its first state championship in 53 years. He was named High School Player of the Year. Then, he made a shocking decision.
I have decided to skip college and take my talent to the NBA.
He had all the attributes where he could have gone to college and would have survived very well in the college game and had plenty of time to come to the NBA and play. But he was anxious to be here where the game was the best.
A lot of people thought it was a terrible decision. But if there ever was somebody that could do it successfully, it was Kobe Bryant.
One person did believe in Kobe, Los Angeles Lakers Vice President Jerry West. In the summer of 1996, West signed free agent center Shaquille O'Neal to a massive long-term contract. Weeks later, he traded center Vlade Divac to the Charlotte Hornets for 17-year-old Kobe Bryant.
We weren't really paying attention to a lot of high school phenoms back in those days, so he was wondering, who's this Kobe Bryant kid?
You know, Jerry West knows his talent, and if Jerry West falls in love with this kid's got to be able to play.
You could see even before that Kobe was going to be, if not the most talented, one of the most talented we would see in many, many years.
We didn't realize that Kobe Bryant just was the icing on the cake. Shaq might have been the whole cake, but Kobe was the icing.
Shaq and Kobe reached the playoffs in their first season together. But the duo really blossomed when Coach Phil Jackson arrived.
Phil brought some stability, brought leadership, and he brought, obviously, experience.
Jackson's impact was immediate. The Lakers won 67 games in 2000 and advanced to the NBA Finals against the Indiana Pacers.
Kobe Bryant. Looks like he sprained his ankle when Kobe came down. He's on the floor, and he's writhing in pain.
A severely sprained right ankle forced Kobe to the sidelines for most of Game 2 and all of Game 3. With the Lakers holding a 2-1 series lead, Bryant returned on the weakened ankle for the crucial Game 4 matchup. The game went to overtime, and Shaq fouled out. Kobe took the team on his shoulders, scoring 8 points in the extra period, including the game-winning tip-in.
Kobe took over the game, and you could just see that from there on, this was going to be his league, and even with the presence of Shaq, Kobe was going to be the closer on this team.
Shaq, you know, would say later that he popped that videotape into his machine at home during the summer just to watch it, because it was just so spectacular to see a kid step forward and really prove himself.
In 2001, the Lakers only lost one game the entire postseason and secured their second consecutive title. A year later, they completed the three-peat, sweeping New Jersey in the finals. A new Laker dynasty had emerged.
I mean, what a party it was. Those guys could play basketball. It was exciting basketball. It was winning basketball. And the city was just galvanized by the whole thing.
But it wouldn't last. Shaq was the MVP of all three championship postseasons, while Kobe appeared to be growing uncomfortable as the second in command. By the 2003 season, it was clear the tension between the team's superstar duo was beyond repair.
It was going to either have to be Kobe's team or it's going to have to be Shaquille O'Neal's team.
There's in the media everywhere, you know, pointing fingers, this and that, who's to blame.
I thought that still they'd figure out a way, they'd mature and come to appreciate each other's talents and keep it together for a good 10-year run. That's what I was thinking at the time.
But by midsummer, the rift with O'Neal would be the least of Kobe's problems.
Shocking news from the NBA. Lakers star Kobe Bryant has been arrested for suspicion of felony sexual assault.
I was in shock. It sent everybody reeling.
After a tumultuous and disappointing 2003 season, the power struggle between Lakers superstars Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe Bryant became the game's hottest topic.
It was either you're a Shaq guy or you're a Kobe guy.
But the events of July 6th rendered all those debates meaningless.
Lakers superstar Kobe Bryant was charged with one count of sexual assault on Friday by the Eagle County, Colorado District Attorney's Office.
In Colorado for minor knee surgery, Bryant was arrested, charged with sexual assault.
This is a Class 3 felony, punishable by anywhere from 4 years to life in prison.
Although he admitted to having a sexual affair with the woman, Bryant adamantly denied the rape accusations.
You can't even script something like that, you know, as far as some fair-haired boy who gets knocked down, you know, off his pedestal in that manner.
Eventually, the charges were dropped. Now, Kobe had to repair his image.
Yeah, I sit here before you guys, embarrassed and ashamed.
People around the team and around Kobe, they knew that he would survive it. I mean, he's a freakishly mentally tough person.
Despite the swirling controversy, the Lakers returned to the 2004 NBA Finals, but were upset by the Detroit Pistons in 5 games. Days later, the franchise unraveled.
It's a pretty slim chance that I'll be back coaching next year. It's a pretty slim chance.
This summer is going to be a different summer for a lot of people. And everyone's going to, you know, take care of their own business, and everyone is going to do what's best for them, including me.
People always sort of had this feeling about that group that they could have done more just because Shaq and Kobe were young enough and there was no other dominant team out there to really, you know, consistently take them down. But, you know, when you stop and think about it, you win 3 straight NBA titles. I mean, that's a major, major historical accomplishment.
With Phil and Shaq gone, all eyes were on Kobe. It was his team now.
I think he relished that opportunity. I think that's something that he really wanted. And love it or hate it that Shaq was gone, this was Kobe's team. Things were going to run through him, and things did run through him.
Kobe averaged nearly 28 points per game in the 2005 season, but the Lakers failed to make the playoffs.
It's almost like he didn't trust anybody to take shots other than him. And when you look at that team, yeah, Lamar Odom's a guy and who can maybe take shots sometimes, and there's really nobody else. So who else is going to score?
When the 2005-2006 season began, Phil Jackson was back on the bench. The Lakers started 13-11, with Bryant leading the team in scoring in 20 of the 24 games. He also led the league in shot attempts.
He did get some criticism from some circles that, you know, he was being selfish and taking too many shots.
He wants to win. He's trying to figure out a way to win. And usually he trusts himself more than he trusts anything else as a means to winning.
But in a December 20th home game against the Mavericks, Kobe silenced even his most vocal detractors.
Kobe was taking more shots than ever. It seemed like he didn't trust anybody on his team, but in that game, he shut up every one of his critics.
Long rebound for Kobe. Lakers lead early.
By halftime, Kobe had 32 points, giving the Lakers a 9-point lead.
Got it!
The points just kept coming, and the Mavericks had no idea what to do. They double teamed, they would foul him, they did whatever they could do. There was just nothing.
Hands it off to Kobe, the pot away.
As we got into the third quarter, and you knew something was going to happen because he was just racking up the points, and I mean, the kid could not miss a shot. You could see the frustration on the Dallas players. They kept throwing different players at him. They would triple team him, quadruple team. He was hitting shots falling out of bounds. I mean, he was so hot.
Bryant poured in a stunning 30 points in the third quarter.
I don't believe it!
The score at the end of 3, Kobe Bryant, 62, Dallas Mavericks, 61.
One guy outscoring a team through 3 quarters, never, ever, ever gonna happen again. One of the most phenomenal performances you will ever see, just out of this world stuff. It was unbelievable that night to see it happen.
If he had played the fourth quarter, who knows how many he could have scored.
Less than a month later, we found out.
It reminds me of when Gibson hit the home run and Jack Buck called it and said, I don't believe what I just saw.
You're talking about possibly the greatest game anybody's ever played.
The NBA record for points in a game belongs to Wilt Chamberlain, and even 100. After scoring 62 in 3 quarters against the Mavericks, Kobe Bryant had people wondering aloud if Wilt's amazing record could be broken.
Those are stratospheric games that nobody really thought in today's NBA was going to happen. You know, despite the fact that some of these guys have the skill and have the talent to put those up, you're thinking, no way it's not going to happen. No way Wilt's not going to be challenged.
January 22nd wasn't exactly a day that Laker fans circled on the calendar.
Lakers, Toronto. No disrespect to the Raptors, but that's not going to create a huge buzz in LA at Staples Center.
The Lakers were 21-19 and had developed a bad habit of coming out slowly against lesser teams.
Lakers come out, first half, lay an egg. I mean, they're horrible. So the Lakers not only are getting their butt kicked, but there's no ambiance in the entire building. I mean, nothing's happening. It's a nothing game.
The Lakers looked tired. Kobe appeared to be fighting alone.
Toronto's coach, Sam Mitchell, went into this game not double teaming Kobe. And that's what a lot of coaches have as their game plan against the Lakers is, yeah, let Kobe go off, let him get out of control, let him score, and the other guys will just stand there and they won't defend.
Kobe's having a good game, having a great first half, but it's kind of lost because they're having another, first half meltdown.
Another tough shot.
He knows they're not supposed to lose a game at home to the Raptors. And so however they got to win that game, they have to win that game.
Los Angeles trailed by 14 at the half. Bryant had 26 of their 49 points.
Second half, Kobe comes out. He starts scoring. Lakers start coming back. Here's Kobe. He's driving. He's laying it in. He's dunking. He's falling away. He's shooting threes. Things are happening. All of a sudden, the team's coming back, but you really don't notice that Kobe's scoring total is kind of climbing up the charts.
It still just felt like another game. We're down. Let's see what we can do to try to get back in this.
But it was funny, about midway through the third quarter, we start looking at Kobe and we start seeing the kind of numbers he's putting up.
Kobe again! 3-pointers got 30.
Kobe took total charge, scoring 27 points in the third quarter alone and putting the Lakers up by 6 at the start of the fourth.
Kobe was in one of those zones. I mean, completely dialed in. And he wasn't going to miss no matter what he did.
The score didn't even matter anymore. Nobody was looking up at the scoreboard to see what the score was.
Kobe Bryant, he's got 61.
Kobe passed the 60-point mark with 6.5 minutes left. He reached 70 a minute and 40 seconds later.
Cell phones all over the country started buzzing like, you can't believe it, Kobe's at 60, Kobe's at 70. It was an amazing thing.
I said at some point, ladies and gentlemen, that sound you hear is every NBA player calling up every other NBA player saying, he's at it again, because that's exactly what was going on that night.
Remarkable stuff, ladies and gentlemen.
So I actually had bosses calling me, make sure you shoot the scoreboard, make sure you shoot the scoreboard.
People were overwhelmed. I mean, when somebody's doing something that you never really conceived of, it was more of an anticipation, like, can't keep coming, it can't keep happening. And then when he get the ball, then everybody's like almost like holding their breath, and then he would score again, and then they would go crazy.
Cell phones were buzzing, three-pointers were flying, and Staples Center was in a frenzy.
Here's Kobe again, yes sir!
But the man responsible for all of the hubbub remained serene. It was only after an assist to teammate Lamar Odom that Kobe finally let down his guard.
The only celebration shot, the only juke shot I got of Kobe that game was after Lamar hit a three. And he turned back and pumped his fist coming back down at me. And I thank God that I stayed on him for that, or else that was it.
I was surprised to see him pass the ball to Lamar. I said, what are you doing? Don't pass it, shoot it. And even Lamar was probably kind of surprised, because it was really funny watching his teammates. They were enjoying it as much as the fans were. They just couldn't believe what they were seeing.
Besides Wilt, no player had ever scored more than 73 points in an NBA game. Kobe hit 74 with 3:26 yet to play. Kobe's last 7 points were scored at the free throw line. Never before had free throws in the closing seconds of a regular season blowout been watched so closely.
At that point, it was just, it was crazy. You know, he broke 80. You know, he was at the line shooting for 81. The crowd was absolutely insane. I was like so worked up. It was like all I could do to, you know, keep everything still. And it was a buzz, man. It was an absolute buzz at that point.
81-point game, 55 in the second half.
Kobe Bryant finished the game with 81 on 28 of 46 shooting. He was 7 of 13 from the three-point range and 18 of 20 at the foul line. On only one other occasion had Kobe's mark been bested.
All these people that thought that Wilt's 100 would never, ever, ever be approached. Now we know that at least one guy on one special night has a chance, and it could be done.
After the game, the man who for the entire night had appeared to be superhuman turned back into a mere mortal.
This is him leaving, and it's just such a moment of joy. And you could just see at that moment how happy he was that his family was there to, you know, share that moment with him.
Coming up, the long road back to the top.
He expects to win many more championships.
Nobody wants it more than Kobe Bryant.
Kobe Bryant finished the 2006 season as the NBA's scoring leader, averaging more than 35 points per game. But his critics again pointed out that he also led the league in shots taken.
He will push the boundaries of what his coach wants or what his teammates want, but that's what sort of people who want to do more in life do.
He comes on the court, he puts on a show. You pay your money. Kobe Bryant that night is going to have you going home, singing his praises.
A lot of people look at him as a guy who's only thinking about Kobe. Those that watched the Lakers during the postseason saw Kobe adhere to a game plan, saw Kobe as a total team player.
With Kobe taking significantly less shots and setting up his teammates, the Lakers jumped ahead of Phoenix 3-1. They lost Game 5, but led Game 6 with just seconds to play. But a Tim Thomas three-pointer off an offensive rebound sent the game into overtime, where Phoenix prevailed.
They were a rebound away from the second round. Too bad they gave up the three-pointer to Tim Thomas.
The Suns destroyed L.A. in Game 7, with Kobe taking only 3 shots in the second half. This time, he was criticized for not shooting enough.
Kobe was trying to get his teammates involved. Now, if they didn't hit for a high percentage in the first half, then he would try to take it upon himself a little bit more in the second half. But he stuck with the plan.
With the Lakers out of the playoffs, Kobe could only sit home and watch Shaquille O'Neal lead the Miami Heat to their first NBA title.
He'll never admit it publicly, but I'm sure it makes him want to get that next championship even more.
It's not possible for him not to be motivated a little bit by Shaq winning.
Kobe Bryant, for one reason or another, may never be embraced by everyone until maybe later on in his career. But right now, from a basketball standpoint, how can you not sit back and just marvel at what he's got?